YouTube. YouTube's in the house. IG's in the house. TikTok in the house. Facebook in the house.
Everybody's in the house.
I don't like any of them. Any of them.
Dude, I do. They help us live.
He likes them.
Is that on? They help us live with
what
conspiracy theories.
What can I do? Dude, that one that you sent me this morning.
Which
Ooh-wee. The one with the bridge and the McConnell. And
that's crazy, man.
Strange
There's some crazy shit going on.
Yeah,
like that, right?
I watched that and I was like, yeah. That's the first thing I thought of when the thing hit. I'm like, all right, what are we going to hear about this? But the fact that they're saying that the Diddy thing is to cover this, I'm like, oh, didn't see that. Did not see that. So you're here to ask questions about home loans. You're here to ask questions about real estate, how to buy, how much to put down, what credit score you need. You ask Lee, you ask Chris. We answer.
Interest rates, what are they going to do? What does the Fed speak? Fed Waller spoke yesterday.
Wait a minute, huh?
Who's Fed Waller? Who's Fed Waller?
Waller.
What? How do you remember Fed Waller? Okay, so what is the Federal Reserve? Dum, dum, dum.
There you go.
Dum,
this is what
dum,
we need.
Dum. Federal
this is
Reserve.
what we need.
Yeah, Federal Reserve. Fed Waller spoke yesterday, but he's not the chairman. He's one of the members. There are 12 members of the Federal Reserve.
Right?
It's Fair Open Markets Committee. 12 members. 12 members. 7 of them are what's called governors, and the other 5...
Jackson. These homies always on the grind.
These guys, homies. We're homies, man.
We made it.
And then there's 5 that are pretty important people. I actually made a picture so that we can show it.
Sweet.
And the chairman of the Federal Reserve is Jerome Powell, but one of the governors is Christopher Waller. So they all get to speak. They all get their own little piece. And Fed Waller said, hey, things are not looking so damn good. I don't know how these MFers are saying we're going to get a bunch of interest rate cuts because I don't see it.
He said that?
Now, they're not in unison. These guys are never in unison. In fact, I printed this too. You're going to love this. Boom. So here's what they all think. They all think that, these are all of them, all 12 members.
Okay.
They think that we should be at 5.5% rate, which right now the prime Fed rate is 5.5. By the end of calendar year 24, some of them think we should be at 5.25, some think we should be at 5, some think we should be at 4.5, and some think we should be at 4.0.
And one thinks...
And one of them thinks we should be at 6.2.
Wow.
That's crazy.
You guys need this data. Hey, if you do want this data, I'll text it to you. Just reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out to us. We'll text you right away. But this actually forecasts. You can go to the FOMC website. It's where I got it. And what they're saying is that 2025, some of them think we should be at 2.5. Some of them think we should be at 5.5. Now,
like that.
These are very, very, very smart people. They're not dumb people. Like, for instance, there's a Richmond Fed president. There's a San Francisco Fed president. There's a Chicago Fed president, Atlanta Fed president. These are guys with a lot of stuff. Are you guys considered mortgage brokers? Love your content.
Thank you, Dennis.
Dennis, the tech guy. Technically, not mortgage brokers, but we can. So technically, kind of, yeah. We are loan officers for a direct lender called New American Funding. I can teach you that if you want to learn what that means, Dennis. But a broker only brokers out his products, only. We're a direct lender, so we offer our direct product, but we have the ability to broker some loans. And I actually have lines with some of the biggest banks out there. Like, for instance, many times, if you were a Wells Fargo customer and you went to Wells Fargo, you would go, hey, Mr. Wells Fargo, I would like a loan. Okay, Wells Fargo would go, cool, sit down, let's get you a loan. You are retail. You walked in, you're retail. When New American Funding goes to Wells Fargo, they say, hey, Mr. Wells Fargo, we'd like to sell $200 million worth of loans this month. What kind of rate can you give us? You think we're going to get a little bit better rate? Sometimes. I actually can beat Wells Fargo's quotes because I broker, because we do a lot of stuff. But technically, we're direct lenders. We work for New American Funding. Hope that helped. Got any questions? We're here to help.
Quick commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officer, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by calling the number on the screen right now. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. What's the Fed going to do? Actually, Jerome Powell speaks today. Now remember, Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. He's kind of the bigwig. He kind of runs the whole thing. But it's kind of like the Supreme Court. Do you know who the Chief Justice is? Do you? Chief Justice.
Oh, Give me a second.
All right,
man.
okay, I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second. We're testing your knowledge.
Give me a second.
All right, cool.
It's
That's
a
all right.
guy.
Mm-hmm. You're good.
He's
You're good.
white.
Okay, damn. You're about to get us banned.
Smith.
John,
Hold on. Roberts.
Yes, it is. Perfect.
Roberts.
You nailed it. So it's Chief Justice Roberts. But Chief Justice Roberts, do you think he has more power than any other member of the Supreme Court? No. None at all. Not one bit more, not one bit less. They're all equal. So, but you need somebody to pull it all together, and that's what that position is. It doesn't mean you have more power. The chairman of the Federal Reserve is the chairman, but he doesn't have all the power. He might have a little bit more power, and he speaks more, and people listen to him more than anybody else. But he's only one of 12. And the other 12, if you vetted them, they're like very smart people. Very smart people. And it's very scary that some of them think we should be at 6.25% interest rates in the calendar year 2024. That's very scary that one of them thinks that we should be that big. There's the majority of them think 5.5, 5.25. The chairman of the Federal Reserve has committed to 3 interest rate reductions cuts. Not committed, but stated that he believes there will be 3 interest rate reduction in 2024, and they anticipate the Fed funds rate to be somewhere in the 4.5 to 5% by the end of 24. And here's what it says. The S&P projects that the federal funds rate will fall to 4.6 in 2024. Where is it right now?
True rate?
Yeah.
5.75?
5.25 to 5.5. There's
Okay.
2 different numbers.
Okay.
5.25, 5.5. 5.25, 5.5. So they anticipate it hits 4.6 in 2024. So that's roughly 80 basis point cut, somewhere in that range. 3.9 in 2025. So 4.6 to 3.9. 3.1 in 2026. See that?
Yeah.
So the 3.1 in 2026. Now, the chairman of the Federal Reserve has actually stated that we anticipate to getting inflation down to 2%.
2%. Hold 1 second.
Okay.
Singh Mutani, minimum score needed for a home loan. 580 for FHA, 620 for conventional, down to 500 for VA, and 500 range for non-qualified mortgages, and 600 and above for down payment assistance. Hope
Technically,
that
no FICO score for VA. Got to put that in there.
Technically, but if it's a
Yeah.
manual, then one kicks in. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Dennis, the tech guy, thanks so much for answering my question.
We
Do you have a
appreciate
minimum mortgage loan amount?
Basically,
question.
yeah, it's a very good question. Dennis, the tech guy, you're going to appreciate this because you're a tech guy. When the financial markets crashed in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, there was a law passed called the Dodd-Frank Law. And the Dodd-Frank Law said, hey, y'all lenders, you can't be gouging your customers. You can't. So we're going to put a limit on how much you can charge your customers. So the limit is a percentage. And at about $100,000 in that range, 80 to 100,000, the standard fees start to break that limit, and it becomes what's called an HPM, high price mortgage. And it turns into a whole different category. So instead of the banks dealing with that category, they kind of just say, yeah, we don't really want an $80,000 loan. At 100 is when we start wanting them. So is there a low amount? It depends on the interest rates, your specific situation, but 80 to 100 grand is usually the sweet spot.
Yeah, Luna and Bagheera. So buy now with high rates and refi once rates go down?
Yes, that's
You got
probably
the
the best.
strategy.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. And like I said, the FOMC, you can go to the FOMC website and you will see this. This is what the Fed believes is going to happen. This is where we're at right now in the 5.5. This is what's going to happen in 24, 25, and 26. Now, they are not in a hurry. That's the catch. And that's actually very wise. I think that's very wise.
Oh, shit,
Here's
what
why.
did Dennis send?
Oh, he sent us a Monopoly, man, it looks like.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dennis.
I appreciate that, man. So I think it's very wise that they're taking a slow time. But it sucks for us. I mean, it sucks. Because every time the rates go down, we make a boatload of money. We get a boatload of clients. We get to help people with problems. It's amazing. It's awesome. All the realtors start making money. Everybody starts making money. And it's great. But if you actually care about our economy, probably not the best thing in the whole world. So the idea that the chairman of the Federal Reserve says, hey, I will hold as long as it takes. Right now, they're anticipating 3 interest rate reductions. But the Fed's speaking today. He might actually be speaking right now while I'm live. So we're both fighting for the same audience. He gets a couple million people watching him. We get a couple 100 million people watching us. That's just the way it works. Me and Jerome Powell, we fight for airtime. But it happens. You know, what are you going to do? So anyway, he's speaking right now. And after Fed Waller spoke yesterday, who's one of the Fed members, he said, he's like, yeah, things are not looking so damn good. And he gets to say whatever he wants. He gets to say it. So now, Jerome Powell, yesterday I was looking at some stuff, and there's a lot of people terrified that Jerome Powell's going to go, yeah, we don't think things are going so good. You know why they think that? Because today's a federal holiday. The stock market is closed, and that will give people time to absorb the hit that Chairman Powell would give us. And I don't know if he's spoken yet. He might be speaking right now. Go ahead.
Floyd of Trump. Floyd of Trump. That's interesting. Can I get a loan? Oh.
Don't say the word.
Oh.
Don't say the word. I love the guy. Listen, I love the guy we do, but we've learned this weird thing that happens. When we audibly hit the orange guy, for some reason, a lot of our followers just drop off. I don't get it. It's horrible, but I'm trying to help people. In order to do that, I got to get people to listen, and I have to kind of play the game a little bit.
So, can I get a loan with no credit score, 18 years old, but my parents can co-sign?
Okay, so.
Nice parents.
Floyd Trump. Yes, Floyd Trump. You like the way?
Sure,
yeah. It's hard to catch that.
I just call him Floyd.
So maybe you can. So, if your parents co-sign, yes, depending on their income and depending on your income. Now, we've actually had to deal with this because at 18 years old, it's really hard to prove a 2-year work history. And a lot of underwriters won't take high school as your trade unless you were in trade school in high school. Like when I went to school, there was something called VOTEC. And VOTEC, you can learn automotive, building, you could learn a trade. And if you did that and then you went into the trade and now you have a job, that's great, and we might be able to use your income. That being said, because your parents are going to co-sign for you, your income is not that important. It could be very little, and I could probably still make that loan work as long as your parents have the income, credit, and assets for the situation. I know this because we put a lot of people into houses or condos near a college. Very common. Someone's like, hey, going to college, instead of paying for the dorm or living situation or whatever, I'd like to buy a house, 4-bedroom house, and then she lives in one and she rents to her sorority sisters or whatever you call them for the other 3 rooms, and we either break even or make a profit, but they start to learn responsibility. We do that a lot, and that's how we make it happen. So
that's awesome.
If you want to know, let's do it.
Floyd said, parents have super high credit score and a couple of properties, want to get into real estate early. Good job, Floyd.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's super great. Yeah, especially if your parents have a super high credit score, they probably already get the game. They know what to do. And listen to them. I have a 24-year-old kid, and I told him, hey, listen, I'm going to get you. We bought him his motorcycle when he was 16, and I said, you're going to finance it, and you're going to pay it off by mowing lawns. And he did. And so when he got out of high school, he had like a 720 FICO score. And I said, listen, you're now 18, you're on your own, don't mess up.
Right.
A little later, he messed up. Even though I told him.
Kid stuff. We all been there. Flixio Delta. Looking good, guys. Tom Jazz. I own 2 homes looking to upgrade main residence. Should I sell or rent my homes to buy a new one?
So Tom Jazz, as a rule, not a law, but as a rule, I'd rather continue to acquire real estate. So if you can possibly rent them and they can either debt service, which means all the fees and everything, including the mortgage, principal, taxes, insurance, and upkeep can be built into there, then that's better. If you actually have a profit situation, the only way I can use profit is if I can prove that you've been doing it for 2 years. A lot of people in your situation can prove that they've been doing it for 2 years. So in that situation, it gives you more buying power because of debt to income ratio.
I just looked at the screen. Rajvinder said, what's up, Rajvinder?
What's up, Rajvinder?
She said, you guys look better on TikTok than Facebook. But
damn! Yeah, I know.
It does. It does. 100%. It's because of the camera structure and all that stuff.
We've been working out on TikTok, but not so much on Facebook.
We've been eating a lot of cheeseburgers.
We're a little dumpy on Facebook.
Okay, so Tom Jazz, Dennis the tech guy said, what's the first step to work with your team? Call or online app? So you can call, But if you don't want to talk to us right now and you want to get the process started, you can go to the link in our bio, click on apply now. But Dennis, the tech guy, I do have questions for you because you're kind of right up our alley with your production studio, with your being a vet. Thank you for your service, with owning a business. So there might be more in there for us. Who knows? Reach out to us.
Yeah, we'd like to actually have a conversation. By the way, there's a lot of people that think you can do everything just electronically. You need to talk to your loan officer. If you don't choose us, bad move. But if you don't, that's okay. I'll still live with it. Make sure your guy really knows his shit. So one of the ways you can find out is this. You actually go to us, hit us with the guidelines, try and catch us. We know our stuff. We've been doing it. We fund loans every month. We have people on this feed right now. I know of 3 that we put in a house on this feed right now, like literally right now. Yep. And all of them have problems. Every loan has some kind of problem. The only loan that doesn't have problems, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But if you ever have a perfect loan, I'm like, you're better off with Rocket Mortgage. Yep. Because Rocket Mortgage just cut out the loan officer. It's just tech, and you get through. But if you have even one hiccup, it's over.
Yeah. Tom Jazz says that his 2 properties, they can debt service. He has an 810 credit score. So good. Gonna call. He's gonna call.
Yeah, right Tom, you're in the perfect spot. If you actually have an 810 FICO score, you are what's called gold paper. Every lender wants you. What that means is you're gonna get the best interest rate, you're gonna get the best mortgage insurance, you're gonna get the best packages out there. That being said, Tom Jazz, I need you to understand something. When you buy your house right now, you are going to have a high interest rate. Even if you're the greatest credit in the whole world, you're going to have a high interest rate, relatively speaking. But you need to know that the Federal Reserve intends on bringing the interest rates down for the next 2.5 years. The next 2.5 years. What that means is you're going to have the opportunity to buy down your rates, and that's not always the best idea because it's not a question of whether you're going to refinance in the future. You need to get rid of that thought. You are absolutely going to refinance in the future. This is not legal advice or loan advice because I cannot give you loan advice until you're my client. But anyway, everybody's going to absolutely refinance in the future. Everybody is. Everybody. It just financially makes sense. But what you want to do is plan it so that you can finance one time because every time you refinance, it costs you money. I don't care what the loan officer says. They could say, hey, no money out of pocket. That's true. But it's hidden in, we're going to build it into the loan. And it still costs you money. You want to refinance one time. And when you do, if it's your forever home, you want to buy that rate as deep down as you possibly can and then never touch it again. Never touch it.
Hell of a strategy.
Yeah, and if you don't have a loan officer who's not looking after your best interest, he makes a commission every time you refinance. He's like, hey, good idea to refinance now. Good idea to refi again. Good idea to refi again.
You're pointing out the secrets that loan officers make money.
Oh, they're going to get mad.
Come on, man.
I piss a lot of people off.
He does. And he doesn't even try.
I don't even try.
He just wakes up
I'm
and
just
people
being
are like,
honest. Yeah, I'm just being honest about the stuff.
Rajvinder, are you laughing with us or laughing at us?
I don't know. I think she's laughing with us. Rajvinder is one of our favorites.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Rajvinder is one of our favorites.
Tom's going to call. And
cool.
Moshi Pop Puppies. How much is required to buy with DSCR loan?
For most people, and I say most people, 90%, 20% down. Minimum 20% down. There is a 15% down version, and all the commercials and everybody, we even had an ad up here that says, hey, DSR 15%, because we actually have a 15%. But the truth is, most people need 20%. Most people need 20%.
Yeah, Rajvinder said, definitely hit up Chris and Lee. They're very informative and straightforward.
Yes, we're here for you. Yes, and we will tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's the truth.
When I tell you, hey, you earned your 534 FICO score, people do not like to hear that. They do not like to hear that. Yeah.
Alonzo, do you need to refinance to get a HELOC? No. So here's what it is. You already have an existing loan that's running over here. You're paying your first mortgage and however much that is, and a HELOC will be right next to it. It'll be a second. It's going to be a totally different loan. Now, if you want to put them together, that's a refinance. So the answer is no, you can absolutely get a HELOC, and it's actually an easy process. We do it over the phone. It takes about 5 minutes to let you know if you have offers or not.
Dennis the tech guy says, I'm going to call momentarily. Hey, Dennis.
Good idea.
Kind of. I'm going to tell you something. Here, Dennis. For 1 hour a day from 11:30 to 12:30 Pacific Standard, we don't answer our phones. We do not answer our phones. I don't care if my mom's calling. I'm not answering that phone. because we're talking to you guys, answering questions, figuring out all kinds of things, and telling you about the great programs. At about 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, if you call, we will answer. We will have a conversation with you, and we will hit you straight with the right answers and what needs to be done. So call us after 12:30. You could text us, you can leave something, we'll call you back. But if you want to talk to us, and I highly recommend, if you're trying to buy a house, you want to have somebody on the other end of the line who actually knows what's going on. I have 2 or 3 deals right now that are crazy, and any other LO would have already walked away. They can't do it. But we fight through, and we learn how to become better to help you.
Yeah. Mommy of the Zero's back. How you doing? Miss ya. Happy Good Friday. Yes, it is. Hey,
Happy Good Friday.
let's clarify this real fast because you grew up in the church.
Yes.
So check this out.
Yes.
This morning I told some people Happy Good Friday, and then I thought about it. I'm like, that sounded weird. I probably never said that before. And then I Googled it, and they said it's not something you should be saying because it's based on a horrific tragedy. So it's not good, not happy good. But I did talk to a couple of my people who are Christians that know their thing, and they're deep into it, and they said it's quite okay. So I'm confused, but Happy Good Friday to you too, Mammy.
Yep.
Tom Jazz. Thanks, guys. You've clarified a lot.
Cool. We're here for you, my man.
Mall Sheep Puppies. What FICO score is required for a DSCR loan?
Okay, so if you have good credit, this is actually a very important one, and you have no hard stops, I can probably do one with 640? 640?
660.
660.
Yeah.
If you have no hard stops, I can do one with 660.
There's a lot of different programs out there for DSCR.
So, yeah, but if you have a hard stop, what's a hard stop? Hard stop is a collection, a bankruptcy, a foreclosure. In the last 4 or 5 years, it changes the game. I don't care what your story is. It doesn't matter. The guidelines are the guidelines. If you have a voluntary repossession, if you gave back your house, voluntary foreclosure, these are hard stops. Even if you are, hey, I was a good guy, I gave it back, it's still on your record as a foreclosure. If you have a forbearance, it's going to change the game. But if you're clean, 660.
There you go, man.
Yep.
There you go. Dennis is on it. Tom Jazz, last question. You guys work in all states?
It doesn't have to be the last question, Tom. We are here for you. We're here for probably another 30 minutes. Yes, we work in all 50 states, but here's a pop quiz. How many states are in the United States? I'll give you a hint. We do business in all 50. There you go.
You never,
Cool.
You never
Yeah.
let him answer, man. You never let him answer.
I gave him a hint. I didn't.
Flockuchis. I think you're telling
Okay.
me something. Anyways, with $25,000, can I purchase? Is that cash in your pocket? Is that your income? Flockuchis. We need to tell us what that $25,000
Yeah,
is.
that doesn't.
That down payment?
Yeah, it doesn't tell me a lot.
Yeah,
that doesn't
so-
tell me a lot.
So you could buy something for $25,000 if that's all you have. Then yeah, of course. You could buy a car.
Yeah.
Maybe a house, depending on where it's
You
at.
could buy a plot of land for cash.
And a tiny home. So
I don't know about
possibly.
that. I don't know about that.
I want to hear more about the FMOC stuff.
Okay, so FOMC, there's 12 members. There's 12 and they're all smart. They're not like, hey, you want to come over here and be a member? They're like the chairman of the Bank of New York and guys who have known their whole world in finance. There's 12 of them. And in case you want to know who they are, this is who they are.
Sorry.
Boom.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My
what?
apologies.
What?
Raj Vinder's at Facebook now.
Oh, what's up, Raj Vinder? Great to see you.
She wants to know how the ADU's going.
It sucks. It's
Yeah, Tom, we're in Cali.
We're in Cali. Yeah, we're here for you. So the ADU. Here's what happened. Okay, I got a property, and I went to the city and I said, hey, listen, I want to build an ADU. They said, that's great. Here you go. Go hire an architect. So I'm like, all right, how do I pick an architect? That's not easy, by the way. So I pick an architect. How much is that? 5 G's right out of the box. Cool. That was the cheapest I could find. Cool. So he builds the architect. I'm like, cool. I sent it to the city. The city says, okay, there's no grading plans in this. I'm like, okay, where's the grading people? Oh, you have to hire somebody that does grading certificate and shit. $4,000. What? $4,000. All right. Shit. So the grading people come on. They're like, hey, this house is not set in the right spot via the architect plans. Shit. Call back the architect. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to have to move it and move the house. Extra money. The grading people are like, yeah, we can't even start until this spot is absolutely approved of where it's at. And based on this, it's not approved, so we can't move, so we can't go anywhere. So I'm waiting for the architect to clean up the drawing that was already in process and blah, 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 blah. And then a grading person, and it is horrible. It's horrible, but kind of what I expected. So
Sounds like fun.
on the bright side, I'm not about to move into this house. To me, it's just an investment. I plan on renting it out, so I make less money. That's what it boils down to. But if I were trying to move into this house, I'd be mad, upset, living on a freaking U-Haul somewhere. Yeah, so this is why I tell people, if you're going to try and build your own house, probably you should rethink that.
Yeah, it's tough. Big hill to climb. Mall she puppies again. Can I get a second with a 650 FICO? What kind of rate? So you have a bank statement loan.
Those are all different questions. Mashi puppy. Mashi puppy. So let me, Mashi, that's a kind of cool name.
Malshi, I think it's a type.
All right, Malshi puppies. Okay, so Malshi puppies. There's two different. You've covered like three different things. Do you have a bank statement loan? Yes, we do. Is it pretty? No, it's not. It's an ugly loan. Will it work for a second mortgage? No, it will not work for a second mortgage. Will it work for a primary mortgage? Yes, it will work for a primary mortgage. Can I do it with a 650 FICO? No snowball's chance in hell of getting a bank statement loan with a 650 FICO. What's the rate? Irrelevant. Irrelevant. Because people are like, hey, I want this special loan. I want a HELOC. All right, cool. What are the rates? 9 to 12%. Well, I don't want to pay 9 to 12%. You're not in a spot where you can choose. You know the guy who can choose? The guy who can choose has an 800 FICO score, 20% down, and a 25 DTI. That's the guy who can choose anything he wants. But if you walk in with the low FICO score, get rid of choosing. You don't get a choice. If I can do it, that's the big question. And that's the ugly fact. It is the ugly fact. So, can I get a second? Yes, you can. With a 650 FICO? Probably not, right?
No.
Probably not with a 650 FICO. What kind of rate, if I could do it, it would be in the 9, 10, 11, 12 rate. And do you have a bank statement loan? Yes, we do, for primary residents with a great FICO. Hope I helped you, but I probably pissed you off, Mashi puppies.
I hope not.
I don't want to piss you, pup. I don't want to piss you off.
She's having a good time.
I don't want to I don't want to piss you off. I don't. But these are just the facts. And the people that are desperate for loans or brand new loan officers like, well, let's see, I might have a program for that. Come on. Seriously. I know if you have a 650 FICO, just to get you a primary residence is going to be tough. Not undoable, but tough. You're going to get the greatest rate? No. You're probably going to get closer to the worst rate, but doable at 650. You want a second or a HELOC or a specialty loan with a 650? Not even on the table. Not even on the table. So, he says, give it to a direct. Thank you for the information, Mashi Pup. I really am here for you. I will help you. The good thing you should do, get that FICO score up. Find out why it's low. Because at 680, things start to unlock. About 680, they start to unlock. At 700 or 800, you're gold. You run the show. So we would like to help you. We do have credit repair people. We actually have a link at the top of our profile where you can go get your credit repaired. We are here for you guys. Anyway, back to the FOMC. This is what they forecast. And I love that they put this on the website. They're not shy about it. They say, hey, we're up here. By 2026, we're going to be here. But the problem is we're in 2024. Okay, well, as loan officers, we know what happens every time they drop the interest rates. A whole bunch of woo, yay, commercials come out. Everybody comes out of the woodwork. Can I buy? Can I buy? Can I buy? And a whole bunch of new buyers comes in. As soon as the buyers come in, then the sellers come in because they're like, hey, I can get more money for my house. And it's true. So what happens to the price of the house? It goes up every single time. That's what happens.
Yep. So let me give you guys a lay of the land when it comes to the nation, not just when it comes to California or Texas or Florida or wherever you're at. So in the nation. So we've seen what happened in 2020. We've seen what happened in 2021. Just what Lee said, rates went down, values skyrocketed, okay? And I don't mean like they went up a couple $1,000s. I mean that if you bought a house in 2019, by 2020 that thing went up probably 30%, like real fast, okay? So that being said, the rates are high right now.
That was a good snap, man. I'm not gonna lie.
That was like
practice. That was like power right there.
So the rates are high and the values are pretty stable. Some areas they're climbing a little bit. Some areas they're going down a little bit. For the most part, they're stable. But once this happens. Yep. And then the price of your home is going to skyrocket. The people that are in the feed right now could probably attest to this, that we put them into homes within the last year. Mm-hmm. They're going to make a fortune in the next 6 months to 3 years or so. And if you want to participate in this, you need to get the process started. I keep encouraging you guys to do so. Most people have challenges. Probably 9 out of 10 have a challenge, whether it's credit, income, the down payment, whatever it may be. But we have a solution for all those pieces too. So please, if you're interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio. Select apply for a home loan, get the process started. If you'd rather talk to us, here's our phone numbers. I'll hold it up for a couple more seconds so you can screenshot it, and we will call you, we will talk to you, we will text you. Just don't do it while we're live, and then we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Any other hard stops to know about or other programs for folks to know about? We're going to talk about them. Here we go. First, we're going to talk about the hard stops. And the hard stops are basically if you did something in life that you probably shouldn't have, that's going to catch you. Those are the hard stops. What does that mean? That means that, hey, I'm supposed to pay child support, and I didn't pay it. Well, it doesn't show up on my credit. Yeah, but we have a special way to find it.
But I don't like her.
I don't like her anymore. Yeah, we don't talk no more. Yeah, so we have a special, not us, the underwriters find it. Not us. I don't even know it exists. We find out at the end that, hey, this guy's in arrears in child support. Well, if you didn't pay your child support, it will catch you. Yeah, if you... we're married, and then you guys just decided to part ways, and you stopped talking to each other, and you haven't talked to each other in 7 years, but you never got legally divorced, guess what? You're not legally divorced. And I've had this conversation way too many times. They're like, yeah, I used to be married to her a long time ago. Cool, did you get divorced? Oh, I haven't talked to her in 7 years. Okay, did you get divorced? We don't talk anymore. Okay, did you get divorced? Well, I don't know if we went through the technical stuff, but we don't talk anymore. She's a nice lady. Good for her. I'm not kidding. This happens way more than I'm comfortable with. Yeah. They're just like, hey,
happened this week.
We're just moving on. We're just, wait, what? I don't know. I don't know if we're married. Technically, I don't know. Well, you know what? You know who will know? The underwriter when they pull LexisNexis, when they do a Cavers report, there's certain things that the loan officer does not do. The underwriter does, and they will find out. And then we're at the close of escrow, and we're like, hey, who is this Mrs. Smith? And then I got to go, I don't know. Let me find out. Hey, Mr. Smith, who is this Mrs. Smith? Oh, yeah. Long time ago, we were married. What do you mean a long time ago you were married? Did you divorce? I've talked to her in 7 years. This happens, like, I can't believe this happens. It blows my mind. But anyway, it does happen. People don't know that they're married. So that's a hard stop. That's a hard stop. If we don't know, if you file bankruptcy, we don't care when you filed. We don't care. I do not care at all when you filed. I do not care.
No way.
When you filed. Yeah.
No way.
I do not care. All I care about is when the court discharged. Everybody wants to go from their file date. No. The court had to work through stuff for 2 years before they discharge, and that's day one. Day one is discharge date. Then from there, for a Chapter 7, 2 years for FHA, 4 years for conventional. If you did a foreclosure, 4 years FHA, 7 years conventional. Is that right?
Yeah.
It is, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure. That's the benefit of having another licensed loan officer is I can double check my facts as I'm here. So those are hard stops. Now, programs. There's a lot of good programs. Oh, my God. There's one in California right now called Dream for All program. They will get you 20% for down payment on your house. So if you're buying a $500,000 house, Dream for All will step in with 100 G's. 100 G's. Is it a real program? You better believe it is. It's absolutely a real program. Is it the most common program? No. The most common program is what's called a CalHFA program. And that one will step in with 3% for your down payment. 3%? Yeah, 3%. 3% for your down payment. So if you go FHA needs 3.5, they'll cover 3. You come in with 0.5 plus closing costs, or we figure out how to cover closing costs.
I think we can take it up to 15 grand.
Can we?
That's the limit, yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's a lot of good programs out there. In the standard programs, VA, if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. Appreciate you very much. Zero down, no mortgage insurance, great loan. There's only one downside to the VA loan. If you want to know what it is, ask. So it's a great program. 0 down, no mortgage insurance. Amazing. USDA loan, available to everybody as long as a property qualifies. As long as the property qualifies. So if it qualifies, 0 down. 0 down for a USDA loan. So those are some good programs. Your other one are FHA, which is 3.5% down, or Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Those are your major loan programs. There are a lot of Alt QM programs. Alt QM means we're going off the qualified mortgage, technicality, off the qualified mortgage to an alternative to a qualified mortgage. And those are bank statement programs, income program. There's a bunch of different programs out there, but we help with all of them. What are the qualifications for the Dream for All program? You tell Haley Camacho.
All right, Haley Camacho, here we go. 680 FICO score is going to be the biggest hurdle right now. People that we pull credit, 650 and below seems to be the most normal trend. So that's going to be the biggest hurdle. Number 2, can only be a conventional loan. Ooh, that's very devastating for a couple of different reasons. One, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are underwriting very tough right now. They have an algorithm they plug into their system, and they want only the best buyers right now. So that makes it very tough. This is why I don't like California pushing this program, is because they're like, we're going to save the state with real estate. No, you're going to make it very hard. You're going to make it a lottery. You're going to make the process very hard that most people won't get a house. Now, some people will fit this bill, no doubt about it. There's a lot of loan officers pushing the hell out of this. They're getting a lot of people qualified for it, so there are some that will work for it. Now, when you walk down this program, 680 FICO, 2-year work history, has to be a conventional loan, and your parents could not have ever owned a home in the last 7 years. So what they do is they actually are going through a system if you went through the adoption process. I mean, like, let's say you were put up for adoption or in foster care. So it's very strange because they're trying to figure out people that you don't even know or may not even know if they own a home. So that being said, a small group of people that will help, a small group of people will get a house. I don't think it's the best, but if this is your only shot, I do recommend it.
And Haley Camacho, here's another
Hey,
thing.
fireworks!
Hey, we got fireworks
Who
in
did
the
that?
back.
Let me know who did that.
Appreciate the fireworks. There's a few other things. You do have to be a Cal HAFA qualified lender. There's a lot of credit unions that are not Cal HAFA qualified lenders. Why? Because they choose their own routes. So this program is not their program. Some of them are, but most of them that I've dealt with are not Cal HAFA qualified members. New American Funding is a Cal HAFA qualified bank, so that's one of them. Then the biggest one that he said is income. Your income has to be steadfast and solid. Solid. And here's the hard part. Let's say that I qualify you for a regular FHA for $400,000 right now, $400,000. And I said, hey, you're bringing in your own 3.5% down. That's amazing, awesome, good for you. You're qualified for $400,000. You're like, hey, I'd like to do a Cal HAFA program. Okay, that's awesome. Let's plug in the Cal HAFA program. All right, you know what? Because you had a great credit score and solid income for the last 2 years, you're qualified for $320,000. But they're going to cover your down payment. Wait a minute, Lee, you said $400,000. Yeah, but they're coming in and literally taking the down payment away from you in risk. So they're not going to let you push it all the way to the max. That makes sense, right? Well, Lee, I guess since you put it that way, it kind of makes sense. Yeah. So $320,000 if you go Cal HAFA, $400,000 if you bring in your own money. I don't care which one you do. I want to get you an escrow. I don't care. Yeah, but Lee, I can't find what I want for $320. Then put your own money in. That's how it works. And that now the Dream for All program, there's one more catch. After I get you qualified for the Dream for All program and I have perfect 2-year income and great credit scores and everything lines up perfectly, then I throw you into a lottery because the state of California says this is going to be a lottery. So now I take your whole package and I throw it into a lottery. And then we cross our fingers and hope they pick us. That's how it works.
Kind of how it works. Hey, guys, do me a big, huge favor. Big, huge favor. There's only a few of us in TikTok right now. It doesn't really work this way in Instagram and Facebook, but do me a favor. Push the heart button a bunch of times right now.
Heart us up. Give us the hearts. Let everybody know that we're trying to help you get a home.
I want to get the algorithm out there so we can get more people in here asking questions that help all of us. It helps all of us when we answer these questions.
And we give you the facts. Sometimes they're not pretty facts.
There you go.
A lot of people coming in. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
What is that?
We give
Easter
you
eggs?
the facts.
You giving us Easter eggs?
Easter eggs
cake?
in the house.
What is that?
Yeah, we give you the facts. Sometimes people don't like the facts. The facts are the facts. It's what they are. We don't have time to dilly-dally around. If you want a house, I will get you a house. I'm also going to tell you how things work because I know how they work. If you want to know what they are. And sometimes you're not going to like when I tell you. Sometimes when people say, hey, I have a 535 FICO. I'm like, hey, hate to tell you this, but you earned your 535 FICO. How did you earn it? You didn't pay somebody back the way you were supposed to. Something happened that you earned that 535 FICO. So let's get over that. Let's fix it, and let's move forward and get you a house.
When do we start using FOICO?
FICO.
Oh man. Okay, guys.
Okay, pop quiz. Who's the other credit rating agency? Tick tock, Vantage.
All right.
Vantage. There's actually talk that the whole mortgage industry is going to shift to Vantage in 2025. It's just on the table. Hasn't happened yet, but they may shift off FICO 5 to Vantage. You heard it here first.
I want to hit more on the divorce things, guys, because this happened this week. I mean, when Lee says that, I haven't spoken to her in a long time, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, it's a real thing. So when you get married, and depending on the state you're in, it can cause a lot of problems moving forward if you decide to get divorced. I'll give you the exact scenario. So I'm not going to call anybody out, but here's the exact scenario. They got married and divorced 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
How many?
30 years ago.
Got it.
And with that, the underwriter said, get me the divorce decree. Now, who keeps a document like that from 30 years ago? That is insane.
Right.
Now, we were able to get it. That's the good news.
Yeah.
But the fact that we needed it is outrageous. So if you decide to make these decisions in your life to get married, get divorced, or whatever the case may be, make sure you keep all your documentation. It's very important. And here's why. So when you get divorced, depending on how long you were married, depending on the fight, depending on the agreement, you may have to pay child support and alimony. So when you're buying a house, guess what gets counted against you? The child support and alimony. And some of these numbers are pretty astronomical depending on the income level at the time of this agreement. So when you're going to buy a house, even if it's from 30 years ago, yes, it will impact you. Now, in this case, it didn't. And it was a little silly because the kids are full grown, over 18, and all that stuff happened. But the fact that there may still be an amount that you're paying your ex-wife or husband still applies. So be very careful, save your documentation, or just don't do it because you're going to ruin stuff.
Yeah.
Dennis is back. This story is crazy. Haven't spoken to wife in 7 years like it was a charge off in the credit report.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, the stuff we hear, you would not believe the stuff we hear. We're like therapists. And I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, listen, I don't give a shit what the story is. Tell me what the real story is so I can figure out an attack plan. Whatever the story is, I don't care. If you're still married, cool, let me know before I package it up and send it to an underwriter. Because anything you don't tell me, the underwriter's going to find. If I know ahead of time, I can change it up. I can do things. There's a lot of people that try and withhold information from me. Or like, this happens. I won't say if it happened to me, but I will say it happens. Somebody gives me a 1040. And on the 1040, they got great income, amazing income. Cool. I build the file. I give them a pre-qualification. Everything is amazing. We go into escrow. And they sign something in the initial disclosures that is called a 4506T, which is the underwriter's right to pull the transcripts that are at the IRS. So the underwriter pulls the transcripts at the IRS, and it turns out what you told the IRS, or what the IRS has on file, is not what I'm presenting to the underwriter. I don't even know this happens, by the way. And then I just get a call that says, hey, you know that Jane Doe loan you were working on? It's not a loan anymore. Just stop. Don't ask any questions. What? And then bad things happen.
It's like when the Fed walks in and takes your computer.
Yeah.
P. Diddy happened to P. Diddy.
That happened to P. Diddy yesterday. You think it won't happen to a billionaire? Is P. Diddy?
Want to hear a funny question that someone asked? Someone said, hey, why do they have to destroy the safes and drill right through them to try to get into his safes? And an attorney said, do you think if you did something wrong and you were hiding the stuff in there that you're just going to be willing to give them the code? Like, duh.
Yeah.
So when they raid your house, they jack it up, man. They tear your stuff up. You should see the pictures of P. Diddy's house. It is gross.
You watch the P. Diddy house pictures?
Well, the after fact of the raid, yeah, they've showed them. They're online. And then they make fun of his color scheme because it's very bland.
Damn, that's pretty harsh, man.
They're like, man, you can afford some color?
We're going to add some insult to injury.
All right, you're
so
12 people on the FOMC. That's where you left off.
So 12 people in the FOMC, the Federal Open Markets Committee, that's the Federal Reserve. And there's some very powerful people. The biggest one that everybody hears about is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. His name is Jerome Powell. And he speaks 8 times a year. 8 times a year, and actually comes out and speaks. And he is the one who says whether or not we are going to raise interest rates or lower them. And about 8 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, he said, I believe we've reached the peak of the economic cycle. Now, we know this. Everybody in finance knows it cycles. It goes up and down, up and down. It's just simple. It goes up and down, up and down. So, if we're at the peak, that means we're at the highest interest rates. And we were quoting 8%, closing loans at 8% interest rate. High. And I would tell everybody, this is high. I didn't think we'd hit 8, but we hit 8. This is high. And then Federal Reserve comes out and says, hey, I believe we've reached the peak of the cycle. So we're in what's called the pause. Okay? So the pause. And then the pivot. The pivot is when we start going down. And they're not like hiding it behind veils and, behind all this secrecy and stuff. They actually put it out on their website. This is what we anticipate. And all 12 members get a say. And they're not really going, hey, what's on your paper? What's on your paper? No, they're like the chairman of the Federal Bank of New York. He's like, hey, I got my own reasons for believing this. I watch what's going on. I handle finance. I handle loans. I handle stock market. I handle everything. Here's what I think. And he'll put out his spot. So right now, everybody's congruent on 5.25 and 5.5. That's where we're at right here. This is from right now, 2024 to 2026. And if you look, they all have a downward trend, which means they all believe we're going to have control of the economy and interest rates are going to go down. Now, what does that mean? If you're in finance, it's not brain surgery. That means that money gets looser. There's also something in here that they don't speak to that often, and that is QT and QE. QT is quantitative tightening, which means they're pulling money out of the economy, going on right now. QE is quantitative easing, which means they put more money into the economy. We believe the shift is going to happen from QT to QE later in 24, which means more money comes in, which means interest rates go down, which means you have more buying power. Holy smokes, all that worked. What do we got?
Okay, guys, help me out here. Like, share, like, share, like, share. We're trying to get more people in here to ask more questions that are pertinent to buying a house. We have all the answers. We just need the questions to answer. If not, we're going to share stuff that we want to share, like this guy when he talks about the FMOC, when he talks about the interest rates. But one thing I do want to hit on is this chart here, guys. I'm going to give you a big visual of what he's saying. This is exactly what he's saying, and I'm going to look at this. So, rates today, values today. 2024 reduction, boom. 2025, boom. 2026, boom. You're going to get priced out of the market. The values of the properties are going to get really high. We've only had about 15, 18 months of low rates for the values to go up probably 30% for most houses across the nation.
A crazy amount.
That's only 1 year. Mm-hmm. Imagine if we had 2 years of it, 3 years of it. Those of you that are thinking about buying a house today with your income is going to grow a little bit, but it's not going to be able to keep up with the price of houses based on this data in front of us coming straight from the Fed. So this is a big deal, guys.
Yeah, and you can, by the way, you can get this. This isn't just me coming up with it. You can go to the Fair Open Markets Committee website. You'll see all of this stuff. If you are in finance, which we're in finance, you kind of got to understand this stuff. You got to understand. You've got to understand that when Fed Powell speaks, the markets respond.
Oh, immediately.
Immediately. You can literally watch the stock market, and Fed goes, well, we're not so sure, and it starts tanking. But things are looking pretty good. Starts skyrocketing, and it literally real time. It happens as he speaks. So this is very important to the U.S. economy. It's very important to your buying a house. You're buying a house. Fed, ooh, Dow's up.
Dude, we're going to break 40.
We're going to break 40,000 in the Dow. It's close today, by the way.
Yeah.
But today's close. I know, it's 39,000. 39,000.
Okay, give them perspective. So right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 39,800. Give them some perspective on that.
Okay, so
2008. Go to 2008.
2000.
Where were we in 2000? Just an idea.
It was in the 16s to 18s in 2008, I think.
I actually remember it closer to 8. Am I incorrect on that?
I think you might. Pull it up. It's
all right. You're right.
Yeah, pull it up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is some perspective because the stock market is freaking skyrocketing, guys. It is insane. And if you're investing in the stock market, then 5 year, 1 year, how do I go? Max. Okay. So we're trying to find the max here. So 89, 2009, what is that? 13.
Actually, it did. It did drop down. Yeah, it was 8.
8.
Yeah, you're right.
2009 was 8.
8,000. It's now 40,000. Right shy of 40,000.
Now let's go to our halfway point. Let's go to 15. It was at 18 in 15. Let's go to 17. It was at 21 in 17. And today it's going to break 40,000. The stock market is crazy. Or very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Very
It's gonna
soon.
break 40,000. Yeah. It's not
I was
gonna break
afraid of
40,000.
getting sued.
It's not going to break 40,000.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact.
The stock market's closed today. Our haters will come at us, man. They'll come at us. You stupid idiots don't even know the stock market's closed.
What's your buddy's name on here?
I don't know,
Mr. Series 7?
Mr. Series 7
gonna
is
start aiming at
Jake
me
the
now.
Clown or Jake the Clown
Yeah, I
or
know.
Jake the Goat or something like that. Andy the Goat. There
There you go.
Yeah, we miss him. And then
But
there's
this
the
is
other guy.
insane, man.
Yeah, it is insane. Well, this is actually what the problem is. This is why some of these people think we should be here. Because they believe, see how there's corrections? See how we don't have one recently? There's going to be a big correction. That's what people are thinking. That means the stock market's going to tank, and that's called a black swan event. What can cause a black swan event? That thing caused a black swan event. Naka Okuna
Nana.
Kenya. What's up, Nana? Great
Happy
to-
Easter.
It's great to
That's
see
a heart, by the way.
you.
That's
Happy
how the kids do it.
Easter. Happy Easter.
It's Good Friday, guys.
Yeah,
So
Good
what
Friday.
are you going to do for Good Friday? Are you going to starve yourself or are you going to punish yourself?
I'll talk to you.
I'm fasting.
I'm giving up
Like I
talking
do
to Chris.
every day.
I'm giving up talking to Chris for 40 days.
Dude, that's painful for you.
I
Painful.
know.
How are you going to survive?
I don't know.
How are you going to survive? That is the
I
truth.
don't know, man.
What are you
I
guys
don't know.
doing
I don't know.
for Easter? What are you guys doing on Good
Are
Friday?
you guys gonna make? Do you make eggs? Do you do
I
the
did
eggs?
last
Do you
night.
do the eggs?
I did last
Yeah,
night. We
okay.
boiled them and I tried peeling one this morning. Crap. Man, I could have fallen apart.
So why eggs with the? I don't know if we should break into religion.
Yeah,
but
let's
why
do it.
eggs? Yeah, why eggs? Why eggs?
'Cause they're
why
delicious.
a bunny? Why a bunny?
I've never eaten a
Explain
bunny,
to
but I
this.
have eaten chicken eggs.
Okay, so explain this to me.
I don't know
Explain
the
this
answers.
to me.
I don't know the answers.
So Jesus died. He rose 3 days later. Why do we have a bunny and eggs?
Can
I don't
anybody
know,
help us
man.
with
Yeah.
I would love help.
Bunny and eggs. I don't get it. Did you know? Okay, let's digress here a little bit. There were no turkeys at Plymouth Rock. Do you know that there was no
They're
turkeys?
imported.
There's no turkeys.
They're migrants.
There's no turkeys at Plymouth
They're
Rock.
immigrants.
There wasn't. But some clever marketing guy said, "Hey, you know what? We need to sell some turkeys." And nobody's claimed this Plymouth Rock Day, so we're gonna call it Thanksgiving, and we're gonna say everybody had a bountiful feast with turkeys. And the cranberry guy's like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! I want a piece of that shit." And the stuffing guy's like, "Oh, me too. I want some stuffing." And the corn people like, "Hey, can I get on this train?" And the mashed potatoes people like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You guys need to hold it. We own the show." The turkey guy's like, "Too late. Claim another day." It's like, "I want part of this day too." All right, cool. And then the green bean guy, they're like, "Green bean will let you in sometimes, but not always."
But it has to be a casserole.
Yes, it has to be a casserole.
And some people throw in mac and cheese, and I'm a fan of that.
Mac and cheese. What?
I'm a fan of that.
Well, I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. You know what they put on there?
Green chili.
Red chili.
Red chili.
Red chili on
Dude, you throw me
potatoes,
for a
dude.
loop.
I'm not kidding.
What is that?
I'm not kidding.
What is this?
I'm not kidding. Red chili's a staple where I'm from.
What? I
They
thought
put
green
red
chili was.
No, they don't put gravy on potatoes. They put red effing chili on potatoes.
I'm going to your house for Thanksgiving.
It's pretty good, actually.
I will be there.
It's weird.
I've had this chili. It's amazing.
It's really pretty good.
It is
It's so
amazing.
strange. Anyway, back to getting a house. Let's get you guys a house wherever you're at. We do business in all 50 states. How many? 50. How many of them? All of them. All 50 states. We want to help you. Rosemary Rodriguez, we want to help you get a house. What do we got? Give me the questions. Where are you at? Heart us up. Let us know. Let the algorithms know that we're trying to get you a house in 2024.
Okay, guys, hearts, shares. Let's get some more questions in here. I'm going to give you some data because this is the biggest part of buying a house, and it's probably the biggest piece that people fall apart, and it's credit. It's credit. Most people have not established good credit, and they've had a history in their past. We've all made bad decisions. Some of us have gone through divorces. Some of us have gone through some tragic times financially, but it doesn't have to stay that way, guys. If you ever want to buy a house, rent a car, rent an apartment, get something, you're going to have decent credit. So if you need to get yours fixed, go to the link in the bio, click on Fix My Credit, get the process started. It'll walk you down the path. Now, the second thing that stops people from buying a house is income. Okay? They don't make enough income. They want to buy a house that's out of their reach, and they want to know how they can get more income because they don't have anyone to co-sign. They don't have the ability to pay down debt, so the only thing we can do is increase income. So we have something called side hustles. It gives you an opportunity to make some money. And if you do this for a couple of years and claim it on your taxes, we can use that money to help you purchase a house. So if you're interested in making more money, go to the link in the bio. Dennis, the tech guy, said it. Side hustle. Click on side hustle. It'll walk you down the path, guys. And then the third thing that stops people from buying a house is cash money, down payment, and closing costs. Do I have to pay the down payment? Can I get a program? Yes, there's programs to help you with that. Lee talks about it a lot, and he's very accurate at this. They are not the best. They are not the ideal. But if this is your situation, and that this is what's going to get you to owning a piece of America, then let's do it. They're available, and we're licensed with most of them. I'll argue that we probably have more programs than most. So if you are interested in this, we can help you with all three. Get the process started. Dennis, the tech guy. That's how I started my company. Side hustle? Tell me about that, Dennis.
Yeah, we want to hear about your business, man. We do a shameless plug here. We're like, hey, to our millions of viewers, Dennis, the tech guy, evidently has a company that he started as a side hustle. Tell us about it, Dennis. Mommy Joe and Nato, what's up? Great to see you guys. We are here for all of you. Stock market is closed today. Yes, it is. Stock market, it's a legal holiday. By the way, if we were trying to close a loan today, no dice. Do you know why? Because the bank is closed. Do you know what that means? That means that when we walked in today, the lights were off, nobody was here, and we had to go to work because we're on the sales side of world. And we don't run the regular banker hours. We don't get those legal holidays. We don't get anything.
Well, you know that Easter is not a legal holiday? Is not.
It's a bank holiday, though.
It's not a legal holiday.
Okay.
Our bank's closed.
Yeah.
But Dennis, the tech guy's putting you on the edge of your seat. He's like, you'll hear about it when I give you a call soon.
All right. Great news.
First, what did that say?
First Step Studios.
First Stip?
First
P?
We can't. Neither of us have great
sip.
eyes.
First sip.
It's a long way away.
Studios.
So, yeah,
it's a long way away.
It's a long way away, man.
All right, did you ready to call it?
Yeah, you know what? We have been Chris and Lee. We will see you Monday.
Happy Easter, guys.